red plate and I would put it in there. I said a green plate! So, God has taught us a lot over the last 2.5 years. A lot of patience. And not to mention that Jeb was, our son, was 3 weeks old when she was diagnosed. He was born, and his timing is perfect. God's timing is perfect. We found out about Isabel's leukemia not during the pregnancy as to put a shadow over the birth of our new son, or too early or too late that it would not be curable. Just enough time for us to love and to appreciate our little redhead boy. And while the beast was around, Jeb was the only one that could make her smile. We have video of her leaning over and said, "Jebby, you're my hero." And me and my wife just appreciate those moments. There were times when we rushed back to the emergency room not knowing if this is the last time that we were going to see our daughter. And we prayed many times we prayed that, God, we are so thankful that you let us have this baby girl for 3 years. We are so thankful that you blessed us all those 2.5 years. We are so thankful that you blessed us and blessed our life so abundantly by letting us have her for this short period of time. Thanks be to God that we get to have her for a lot longer, Lord willing. Her blood counts are back into the normal region, and she goes for monthly checkups. She has gone through numerous spinal taps, and like we said, on our Make-A-Wish trip down to Disney, Tabby was teaching her how to swallow pills and things that 3-year-olds shouldn't have to do, and spinal taps and milky white medicine that makes you say funny things. Her favorite one, all the doctors would come in when they give her this milky white medicine to see what Isabel was going to say. My nose is funny. When I talk, the words come out of my mouth. These phrases that all of the doctors and nurses would come in, and it's those things that we remember. And thanking God that He saw it fit to put her and us through this at 2.5 years old. Give her enough memory of this. It was our prayer that she would not be afraid of anything in the future. But don't let her remember too much, so that she would be paralyzed by her experiences. This was brought to light on our last day of treatment before Miss Jill goes out for maternity leave, and my wife took Tabitha and up to the floor where we stayed for 8 days. Isabel goes around and she notices, oh, that was that cart that we drove around. That was the kangaroo that we played with. That's that dollhouse that I got to play with. She didn't focus on anything negative. That was that room where that needle went into my hip. That was that room where that you had to rush me back to. That was that room where the doctor didn't mix that cherry syrup into the medicine and it tasted really yucky. None of that came back to her memory. We are so thankful that God saw it fit to bless us with the trial and tribulation that has been the last 2.5 years of our life. It makes us appreciate life a lot more. And I want to look at Hebrews chapter 11. That's just what I do. I want to look at Hebrews chapter 11, and you'll probably understand this as the roll call of faith. And there are very specific verses in there that talk about suffering. And God answers this question in Job 38 verse 4. We all know about Job's suffering and all the things that he went through. And he said, why, God, why? In Job 38 verse 4, God says, all right, you've asked me questions, now you sit down and you listen, Job. Job 38 verse 4 says, where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Wow, so that's something that me and Tabby tried not to ask, was to why God. We did not. We understood that God was in control. That God, according to Job 38 verse 4, where were you when I laid the foundation?